Hey guys, this is Viper 6 coming to you live from Calgary, Alberta, and I got a topic today. It's kind of like, well, this is what I noticed, right? I've got a cruiser and I've got a sports tourer, and we're going to talk biker wave. I know it's been beaten to death a million times, but it's one of my observations that I noticed. What was really cool. Okay, got it out of my system. So this is what I noticed. On my cruiser, I get about 90% of cruisers waving back and about 60% of sports bikes waving back. And I wave at everyone, right? Even spiders, yes. Still out in the open, even though it's a tricycle inverted type of thing. And yeah, weather's not looking very good. Oops. So, and now that I have a sports tour, well, I'm riding the sports tour, I noticed that 20% of cruisers wave back and about 85% of sports bikes wave back. Isn't that kind of weird, eh? So, yeah, that's my observation since I have two bikes. And I wonder why that is. It's like, whatever. So, another thing I noticed is on the cruiser, I don't know if because it's got the louder pipes, they're not really super loud, but, and you know, I wear the leather vest with my club patch on it, and all the other patches that go with it, you know, it is what it is, and other stuff. I don't get cut off as much. It happens, yeah, but I don't get cut off as much, and I don't get tailgated as much. On the sports tour, I get cut off all the time. I get cars stopping right up my wheel. It's like far less respect. I guess it's because, well, they say it's a sports tour. It's probably the average Joe. Whereas with the cruiser and the, you know, leather vest and stuff, and they go, well, I really don't know who I'm dealing with, and I probably don't want to piss off this guy, right? So that's what I noticed. Call it strange, call it weird, but yeah, it's funny how people profile you, right? And they classify you as a certain character when you ride one bike, and a totally different character when you ride a different bike, and how the respect is not there. Whereas with me, I dish out respect to anybody that's taking their life on two wheels. It's like this bonehead that's following close. See, on the cruiser, that wouldn't happen. Oh well, just me looking at him in the mirror made him back off, because I guess sometimes, you know what, they see a camera and they go, crap, I'm on a camera. So that helps too. So yeah, as you guys know, we got a speeding ticket last weekend, and I'm still debating whether I'm going to fight it. You know, it's my only drawback is that I need to be able to have the time off work, and I don't know if I'm going to get it. And if I'm not going to get it, then I'm going to pay the $167. But if I'm going to get it, I'm going to argue the fact that, you know what, when the officer pulled us over, he looked at me and he said, I caught him doing 120. Well, that's him. You didn't catch me doing 120. I was way behind him. And I don't think I was doing 120. So that's going to be my argument if I actually get the time off. So we'll see. And I'm also going to point out to the judge the way that cop totally blocked us over. It doesn't look that severe on the GoPro, but you guys know that on GoPros, things are a lot closer than what they appear. And I know that the bike in front of me, that was way ahead of me there, had to really hammer on the brakes. Because, you know, you're doing 110. That's what I figured I was doing, 110. And the guy pulls up right in front of us, blocks both lanes. Well, I'm not going to hammer on the brakes that hard on a bike that I'm learning on, you know. It's like, whatever. So I went around him. I slowed down, went around him, and pulled over. And I can tell that, you know, like I looked at him, and I could tell that the cop was a little concerned if I was going to bolt. That's something I would never do. What's this person doing over there? Yeah, that's something I would never do. But it was just, I think, extremely unsafe of the way he did that. So, yeah, so the bike got its first service. And yeah, it's they put dyno oil, they didn't put synthetic. I thought at first, when I first got the bike, I thought he said, yeah, we're going to put semi-synthetic. But in one sense, I'm glad they didn't, because it breaks in a little better with dyno oil, or mineral oil as it's known. And later on, I'll switch it over to full synthetic. And then I'm sure it's going to be a lot smoother than it is now, because already I noticed a huge difference in smoothness between the break-in oil and this other oil. And when I had to go pick it up, it was pouring cats and dogs. It was 4 degrees. I mean, it was coming down. And you know, it's cold rubber, it's pouring rain. I'm going through construction zones when the roads are full of mud. But I put it on B mode, which is its rain mode, and the thing was flawless. It was like, wow, I never had concern. Like, the tires were sticky, everything worked out. I have no qualms about this bike. If the bike does anything wrong, it's not the bike, it's me, because I'm coming off a cruiser learning this thing, right? And one thing I noticed was on my last ride with the boys when we were out, I was totally leaning like my cruiser, because on cruisers you can actually stay straighter and actually lean in the other direction and totally drop the bike on a tight curve, whereas with this thing it goes totally unbalanced. So that was a bit of a newbie move. So now it's like, yeah, when I lean it into deeper corners, it's like, yep, kiss the mirror when you're turning right, kiss the mirror when you're turning left, and there you go. And that's all she wrote. And this is Viper 6 over and out.